I believe we're live. I think we'll see what happens. Hit us up in the comments. But welcome everyone to the Spike House in the basement, the brand new guest bedroom we made for nationals last year for the tour stop. We've got our Father Church here. We've got our Chandy Hertzler man, and we've got our Solid Boy in the picture-in-picture. So, thank you all for joining us. Regards to Adam and Amanda, our other two panel members.
Yeah.
Little water incident today in their car.
Yeah,
so
they hydroplaned and got in an accident. So luckily they're both safe. No lasting injuries. Just a mild concussion for one of them.
Yeah.
So
no other cars.
Keep me about surprised, but yeah.
Yeah, the doctors tried everything they could, and they're gonna make it.
Hallelujah.
By the way, more of those laughs, and I will give the phone to you when Meg calls us too.
Yeah.
Yell at me again, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, everyone, we did deliberate for about 5 hours last night. Yeah. Over some delicious steaks, if I may say so myself. It was a very lengthy and very a lot of data to go over.
Yeah, we've had a lot of tournaments since the last time we did the last ranking, so a lot of results that are somewhat conflicting sometimes, but yeah, we're excited and happy about these rankings and excited to show it to you.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll get into it. We're gonna go through a couple announcements to start off and get them out of the way while everyone's still paying attention. After we, pass your name and you're gonna leave, we know. So, first off, shout out to KBS Apparel. They've given so many prizes away this season. Also, they just created these guys for us. So our beautiful Utah Spike jerseys. They looked fresh on paper, and since we got them last week, they look. We've had just more and more compliments than we really thought. So, shout out to Up and Go, Tiga, Spikeball, and of course Home EXP for being our jersey sponsors, and KBS for the wonderful designs. You can head over there to get those. If you need the link, just hit us up on Instagram. Shoot me a DM and we'll get that for you. So you're all sorted out. Also, speaking of Goats, whose this jersey is, shout out to them for Alex Goats, kind of reviving Cathedral brand. A great sponsor in the community, both here in Utah and nationally. So
yeah. Their shirts are so comfortable. If you don't have a Cathedral shirt, you should get one. They're my favorite shirts to wear. They're so nice.
Yep, super nice. So, thank you all to our sponsors for all your support to help us take care of our players this year. So, all right. So a couple other things coming up. Oh, one other sponsor I do want to just hit up is Tiga. They're a new sponsor. They started out as we kind of got in touch with them through Spikeball. They were at the tour stop this weekend. But also, there were people cramping all day long, overheating, and this isn't the first tournament. In Utah heat, it happens. So I urge everyone, if you want to stay hydrated properly, be sure, get some Tiga product. It's just a water additive, tastes great, and really helps your body to, drink it the day before, the morning of, and then throughout the day to really kind of keep your body healthy. So,
big fan.
Anyway, so that, yep. Solomon gives the thumbs up to Tiga. Sweet. Okay. Upcoming schedule. So I'm going to pull Sully off screen for a second here while we discuss the schedule. Just want to go over. There's been some changes in the fall. Trying to squeeze some more things in. So we've got the. Everyone sees my bald head there, man. I gotta keep the pad up like this.
You gotta do something like that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, both of you guys have your hats. Should have brought mine. All right, so we've got coming up, of course, the next one is our back-to-back night. We've got Spike Night Major, Friday night. It goes from about 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. It is a blast. It's, I believe, already got some stacked teams. But again, this isn't just for the top teams, okay? Everyone come out, have some fun. You can camp on the field afterwards if you don't want to drive home at 2 in the morning. Just bring a sleeping bag, a tent, whatever you want. Hang out on the field until you wake up in the morning. Then Saturday that night, the following night, I should say, from 6 to 10, we'll have our 3v3 West Regionals. Zach Vance wasn't able to make it into town. He got hurt. Somehow he got injured. Anyway, he's not making it. We're still having it because it's going to be a 3v3 with sides. A very fun version to play. Church won our last one that we did. So this time you got to put together your own teams, though. So it's not a draft. Put together your own teams. We've got a gold and silver division. So be sure also to sign up for that. Following that, we head up to Logan for all our Utah State people that are getting back into class. Headed up there for our Logan Classic. It's been a year and a half since we've been up there. So Ben Bliss and Derek Bonney doing a great job growing that community. Also Jonathan, kind of the official club captain up there. But anyway, so we got that. And then you can kind of read down the list. But the big ones also keep in mind, Fall King of the Court. Rexburg is going to be a sanctioned tournament. The first place spot for Premier is locked up, but there's 2 more spots. Okay, so you got second and third will also get Premier. Then that's up for grabs, and then 10-16 college. Hopefully we're going to be part of that college regional thing with the unofficial national college season. But if not, we've got our colleges growing. We've got teams at Utah. We've got UVU. Devin's going to be taking over UVU, it sounds like.
Oh, cool.
BYU's obviously a powerhouse. We got Lindros, El Guion up at the University of Utah. Anyway, lots of options. Hopefully we get all our schools represented, and then there'll be an open division as well. We might actually do a high school as well, just to kind of give the high school clubs a chance to come in. So
lots of fun, exciting.
Lots of fun. Speaking of high school and college, if you go to any high school or college, you don't know about your school's club, again, DM us on Instagram at Utah RoundNet. We want to get you connected. This week I'm doing the huge push. Schools are starting. I want to get all our captains all lined up. We had a lot of seniors graduate. So anyway, a lot of shoes to fill. So again, high school, college, hit me up. Let's make sure you get in with your school's clubs. So more water. Thank you, Jarrett Rouse. You got me on the water train. Talked me out of a bunch of soda. So I'm working that way. Okay, let's see. We got any comments pre?
We're asking about how many Premier players we had in Utah.
Yeah, I just answered that. Somebody asked how many Premier players we have, and we technically have 22 that are still qualified. We have one OG that's expired, and we really have about 15 active Premier players that play in tournaments at least semi-often.
Yeah, I was going through creating the graphic, which we'll populate later, but can't spoil it. It's fun to see. We've got a ton this year, so I mean, we're going to lose a whole bunch as well.
Yeah, we're also getting a lot back. So a lot of our guys go on missions, but we got.
But now we have to wait till next year to get them the new guys qualified. But anyway, it's as we say, we understand BYU's pain of recruiting, so planning them out. But super excited to be getting. I mean, we've got Tate back, we've got Bryant back, we've got Tanner. We've had Tanner for a while now, but now back in Utah.
Spencer just came back too. Spencer
Hanson. Yeah. Dallon's got to be back. I tagged him today. He's got it. I mean, any day now. And then also just some other guys. You know, Conor Adams. He was a great high school player. Never really, wasn't around much long enough to really make that bump up that you guys might know him. But some guys that I bonded with on the high school scene back in 2019 that are coming back. So I'm excited. Come out. Hopefully you guys come out soon. Don't get married too fast. Come spike out. So, all right. Shall we get into the first batch?
Let's do it.
All right. Let me line this guy up. All right. So we got some new colors on here, and we're out. So, top 25. Big one. A lot of changes in the top 10.
Yeah.
A lot of changes. We got changes in the top 3. We got a new person in the top 5, which hasn't happened for a long time. And then we got 2 new people in the top 10. 3, actually.
How many tournaments have we had since the last rankings?
A lot. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus Tahoe plus. Was there one other road trip?
I don't remember.
So 10, at least 10.
Yeah, with other opens as well. But
I think these are all the opens.
Yeah, this is all the opens, just the road trips I didn't throw in here.
There we go.
So we got at least 10.
SoCal.
Yes,
Yep.
SoCal was since this one. Yep, so 11. 11 tournaments since the last one. That's why it was a lot of data. We know people are going to complain. They're going to say, well, I beat this person in this tournament. Again, you've got to realize we've got to look at now 12 tournaments and results and make sense of the numbers. So, go ahead. Let's hear the top three.
I'll quickly preface this with saying, and we've said this in our last streams, but the rankings are a combination of the eye test and data. You know, it can't be strictly data because sometimes you beat somebody, but you obviously have a better partner, or you know, you get Premier and somebody hasn't got Premier yet, but they most likely will. There's a lot of variables that go into it, and so a lot of times we go off what we know of their general skill level, and that doesn't just mean who can ace who has better serve. You know, we try to factor in all portions of the game. Mm-hmm. But a lot of these, especially as we get deeper into the list, we tend to have less and less data, or we have very conflicting data. Mm-hmm. You know, if we get people that are all kind of getting out in the first round of a tournament, they don't play out for places, they're playing with different partners every week, it becomes very difficult, and we try to go off what we know. So we'll definitely make mistakes, but the best way to climb this list is to make it easy for us.
Yeah, play a lot, mm-hmm. and don't mash up with too uneven of partners.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will say I laughed at Conor's comment. MSU chairs over at URA. Yeah, Trent, if you could bring some of those Montana chairs over here, that'd be great. But, yeah. So I mean, I'll start out with Church. Just great results. I think before the tour stop, at least me and Solomon, I think we're on board with a Caleb Church Chandler top 3, and then Church balled out. Even though Church had a lot of results, a lot of stats had Caleb as the best player on the net. In what U3 plus a 4th were on there, and so that was big. And in my mind, it was kind of like a 1 and 4 versus 2 and 3, and Church being the 2, and whoever third partner is was able to outdo that. But Church balled out, played amazing at the tour stop, got some glassware, and didn't just get glassware. I mean, playing with Gabe as an amazing partner, but I mean, Gabe didn't seem like he carried Church. Church played right alongside him, came up clutch when he needed to.
Yeah,
it was a great showing.
Yeah. Ultimately, it kind of came down to, based off of overall results, Church has been on many of the podiums, if not the very top of almost all the podiums in a lot of these 12 tournaments that we've had this last little bit, as well as the most recent ones as well. Him and Ryan Oswalt beat me and Caleb in 3 games in Lake Tahoe. And then Church played the New England Tour Stop, getting 4th place there, and then played the Salt Lake Tour Stop, getting 3rd there as well.
So well done, Church. So again, you're getting your number 1 spot back. You miss it.
I missed it.
You played very well this quarter.
Glad to be on. Good. Caleb, a baller. Obviously huge firepower. But yeah, I mean, Church showed through results. Chandler just had some unusual mistakes for you as of late.
Yeah, a couple high highs, but also a couple low lows. I think, performed very well in Southern California, but besides that, essentially every tournament, Caleb really outshined me because, we both play on the same team, so it's tough to see, because we're not competing directly against each other. But Caleb, I think, has consistently shown his serve receive has been a little better, and has a bit more break potential as well. So, we felt very good about putting him top 2 above me, especially after results this quarter.
Great. Quick touch on Conor. He probably might have dropped a little bit lower, except at the tour stop. He played with Goats, and they got the head-to-head over Solly. So Solly wanted that 4th spot, but Conor held on to it by the one tournament he played in. So
yeah.
All right.
Solomon does move into our top 5, so one of the newest top 5 Utah players in the last longest time, moving above Gage. Gage has kind of moved down a bit. Just not a lot of results from Gage, and
just
okay
rusty
results,
and self-proclaimed as rusty, isn't where he used to be. Yeah, I mean, we can get to Gage, but yeah, I mean, Gage said it's other people that we talked to at the tour stop, just all kind of agreed that, Stokes played better than him. Solomon was a stronger player. So kind of went to a lot of polling to kind of see to gauge where Gage was.
Yep. So we've got Solomon at the 5, and then number 6, we have Alex Goats, who's moved up quite a bit. He's played very well. He plays with Solomon, and has had multiple podium finishes at the sanctioned events. So just with his level of play, how much he's been coming out and playing, and the consistently good tournament wins, especially having that win, with Conor over Solomon and Zach Duffy, and playing solid overall at the tour stop. But we have Alex, who has moved above Stokes as well.
Solly, do you want to come on camera? I can get you in here if you are interested in participating. Anyway, there we are. Sweet, there we go. We got a triple screen here. So we got Solly Boy. Solly Boy went home to Arkansas for a few days before the semester starts. So there we go. Anyway, pipe in when you got any thoughts, Solomon. So yeah,
I'm gonna touch on Stokes real quick. We have Stokes at 7. He didn't change any. He did definitely have a better quarter, just because he didn't have a quarter before. He'd kind of taken a step back from the game, and he just recently has played in a couple tournaments and has played pretty well, but hasn't played with top players like he's played with in the past, and so again, not a lot to go off with him, but we all know what he's capable of, and he'll definitely move up back into the top 3, top 5 if he wants to, basically.
I'm just glad I don't have to memorize a new number to call him. All right, I got a question for you guys.
Huh?
Did the picture that he sent in the group chat the day of rankings may have any reflection on your decision to keep him a little bit, maybe a little higher?
I don't think there's anyone that necessarily should have moved above him or has proved. No, the only thing I felt was hope for the future.
Right.
It was good to see Stokes back. He was just grinding by himself and sent a picture in the group chat. So we're excited to have him back a little bit more this quarter. Hopefully finish out the year really strong. So we're excited to see him.
I'm gonna say, for his, you get a lot of retirees that kind of hit a peak and then just kind of fall off. But I mean, the last month we've seen a number of guys who've kind of taken a step back, post that on Instagram, say they miss it. I mean, Christian, that's a big one. Just hey, I just missed Spike. So anyway, a lot of those guys I think kind of step back, but this community, it's like a family. You can't leave us forever.
It's tough to leave permanently. Yeah.
So, sweet. All right, so let's get into Drip Drop. Man, those guys balled out.
Yeah, they played very well at the tour stop in Salt Lake City. Went undefeated. Their closest game was 15 all day. Was it 15, 16?
I didn't look at the stats.
Yeah, they Drip Drop. So Grant Marriott and Jake LeBaron. They've been playing together and grinding for Premier. They've also had a lot of open tournaments where they've kind of mixed up with each other and had some really impressive results. At the Spike Night one, they got second place, going undefeated in pool play, and then made it all the way to the finals with a good semis win. So that was Grant Marriott and Matt, and then. Yeah, Grant and Jake have played very well together. They're both very athletic people. Their serves are just getting a lot better and getting more experience against the top-level guys. So they really showed it at the Salt Lake Tour stop this last week and kind of dominated the field.
Yeah. It's fun to have new people in this top 10 to 12 spot. I know it's taken some time for some of the, guys who don't show up a whole lot. We've kind of maybe moved on from them and kicked them off the list a little bit. And speaking of, we're kind of right now moving towards more of a 4-month timeline. We might give you a text to see, hey, you're planning on playing a whole bunch more. But if you don't show up for 4 months, there's a list. And there were, especially as we get to the bottom of the list, a lot of people who just, it's just like, man, we're just running out of spots and more than it ever has in the past. So you got to be around if you want to hold on to a spot. So anyway, just kind of a warning for those who haven't played for a few months. So, all right. So Ashton, so we got Matt, moved up a little bit, got that premier spot, been playing solid as always. I don't know if there's a whole lot more to say besides Matt. Is just a great, consistent player.
Yeah, really played well to qualify for Premier, beating a really good field in American Fork. So he's had a very good quarter. Ashton Smith has played less, so he's dropped down quite a bit. Just played less frequently. Lives down in St. George, which is obviously very tough. But he qualified for Premier this last weekend with Ashton.
With Devin.
With Devin, yes.
But with a dislocated thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Really wish we could have been able to see an Ashton Devin versus Drip Drop finals to really see the battle between those two teams.
Yeah.
And that would have been a lot of fun. I went to lunch with Dev today. He asked, he's like, am I going to be happy? I'm like, So, Dev, this is, and I kind of, hinted him, like, Drip Drop took first.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's just what it is. But hey, that's why we have, new rankings every couple months.
And Devin got married recently and hasn't gone to as many tournaments as...
Because
played in Spike Night and then, lost 2 Grants. So I think Grant and Jake are in their spots above him.
Yeah.
Still got Premier and still a top-level player and plays very well. It's just other people have been playing even more.
Yeah.
And Ashton's a player that, very similar to Stokes, if he decides he wants to get back in the fray and play more and grind more, he'll
be top 10
climb quickly.
Easy. Yeah.
Cool. All right, we did lose Solid Boy, which might have just been because, hasn't contributed anything. I was just about to open it up and say, Solly, all right, any other thoughts on the top 15? Anyways, good idea.
He does have a lot, important part of the panel. Knows a lot, but just unfortunate timing.
The
but he's with his family.
The Woj of Roundnet.
Yeah.
As I call him, so.
Yeah.
All right, so moving into that 15 through 20. So Bryce also getting Premier, one of the first guys in the group to get it. So well done to him. I think Bryce is hard because a lot of kind of the open tournaments maybe kind of goofs around a little bit, has some bad results. Him and Caleb playing together and taking dead last in some friendly. Anyway, it's just hard. But solid guy, solid player.
Yeah, I love Bryce. Plays a lot. Yeah, I love Bryce.
Ty been traveling the globe.
Yeah, essentially
not the whole globe, mostly just the beaches around the globe.
Yeah. Ty is definitely a premier level player, but just hasn't played in many tournaments this quarter. He has played in a couple, won one with Church, just a little open. So he is at that level, and we probably would have him higher if he had actually competed in an official tour stop. But he's playing in Rexburg with Sanford.
Get it. That's that number 1 spot that's locked up. So don't worry.
So yeah, we've got Ty right there, and then Bryant is our newest premier player.
The biggest leap in the history of rankings.
84 spots from not being on the rankings to top 20.
Yeah.
Just got back from his mission, played very well with Will Foots, and landed on the podium in the contender division. So very hopeful for Bryant.
Solid athlete. There was some deliberation on we don't really have the data on him. Ultimately, I was outvoted. I'm probably never going to get the rank back because this is my one chance to be ahead of him while he's, fresh. But that's okay. Me and Ty will get Premier, and then we'll battle our way back. So I'm playing a few. I got Spike Night. I got Rexburg coming up. I haven't been able to play in major tournaments yet. Just opens when I get a chance. So we'll be able to see. Well. Yeah, but see, you're maybe a little too high for me to run with.
Oh, that's fair.
Because then if we do well, you get the credit. So, anyway, I got to pick my partners wisely.
Cool.
But I will say it's been a blast to play with some of my favorite high school kids or recently graduated high school kids. Playing these tournaments with these guys, and it's been a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. So I know it probably hasn't helped my ranking since you can't really do a whole lot. But anyway, it's been fun.
Yep. Next group, we've got some of our almost premier guys. We'll probably get there very soon. But Garrett, Pack, and Ben Goetz, they've really been playing a lot recently. Garrett was a series away from getting premier in American Fork. And then Pack has recently moved to Utah and has just been playing probably the most out of anyone here, besides maybe Solomon. But bright future ahead.
Yeah. Pack also was one series away or one round away from getting premier. And yeah, he just moved here from Oregon, got a lot of talent. Sure he's going to get it soon.
Yep. Moving on to our beloved Creech.
Creech has really been focusing on disc golf, so he's dropped 8 spots in the rankings since last time. Hasn't really played too many tournaments and hasn't played, with great partners, hasn't had great results. So
you're gonna say that about your father?
I guess that kind of
that was
out, comparatively to
big
the rest
yikes.
of the field.
18 years, just
Dad, I love you.
Right in the heart.
I know you're watching. I love you.
Yeah. So that's Creech. We love him, but drop those discs a little bit more and pick up a ball. So
yeah, he just doesn't give an F. But we love him dearly.
We do love him.
So moving on through, let's see the bottom. So we got Tanner, solid player. Hasn't quite shown us like great athlete, but just hasn't really picked up that firepower, I think. He's been around for a few months now.
And he's yet to play in a tournament with somebody like as good as him or better.
Sure.
And he's just a great example of just kind of that raw talent now. And hopefully he'll start to kind of sculpt it and
has he been coming out to a lot of the Provo pickups?
I think he plays for an hour or two on Tuesdays. Okay. He's got some other things going on, but he does come out.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I was bummed he couldn't make it to the Salt Lake City tour stop. I would have liked to see how he had done with somebody. But I think he intends to. I think he might go to Virginia and try to get out there.
That's right. Cool. Sweet. Yeah, hopefully we've kind of plotted out the map for the rest of the year to get as many more guys premier as we can. So, all right. So that kind of clears out. Oh, you know what? Camden and Derek, some solid players to round out the top 25. Derek actually doing some traveling. He played up in Seattle. Did he play one other one?
He played Tahoe. He's
right. I'm just thinking another tour stop.
Not another tour stop.
Okay, all right. But we did do some polling. People that played with him and Ben Bliss. That is, Ben Bliss is his mentor, who kind of got him into the sport, taught him everything he knew up until while they were up at Utah State last year, and then Derek's been down with the rest of the Utah County crew, grinding, and I think the word on the street was Derek was quite easily the better player out of him and Ben. So
yeah, I love watching players like Derek. I think he's a great example of someone who started off really raw but had a lot of firepower and has just played so much that he's gotten to that level where he gets points that a lot of people don't get.
Yeah.
Just a couple extra good recovery sets, some good athletic finishes. He's really developed his serve as well. So he's become a really well all-around player. And so he moved up 17 spots from where he was with some really good tournament results, made the quarters in Salt Lake tour stop. So almost got premier as well. So he's getting up there. We're excited for him.
For sure. All right. Okay. So that is rounding out the 25. Let us commence into the next round. One other thing I just want to touch on. I know the stars are out there. We got the gold stars for those who are premier. There has been some questions, some alterations to kind of what we've done for the elite stars. So for the Salt Lake Tour stop, we did top 6 in contender. And the tour stop, there's different divisions. So, we kind of had to play it by ear a little bit. But we went with the top 6 in contender. So a couple people who took 5th and 6th were able to add that star that way. And then the top 3 in advance per usual. However, if you take 3rd place in advance, it is an optional star. So that what that means is for those who are just really want to have that elite qualification, which I'm hyped that people are fighting for this. People are traveling. I mean, I think it was Trey and Trent from Montana, and then Dirty Diggs. Those were the first 2 teams that were like, we're traveling to get URA Elite, which was awesome to hear.
As a quick side note, if you are from out of state watching, stick around because we did not forget about you.
Yep, we do have some out of state adoptee rankings. But anyway, so top 2, you're elite, you got to move up. 3rd place is kind of that optional spot. So if you want the star, you want the kind of essentially in majors, it is very few exceptions that you can move down to play with a matchup partner. Most of the time, you got to play up. But anyway, there's some people who take 3rd that just don't really. I mean, I think they maybe got carried. Maybe it was a weak tournament. Aren't quite ready for that, and so we understand that. While we're at it, again, kind of keeping everyone on the hook for the next batch. But while we're at talking about elite, we are going to from now on because there are so many elite players. If a tournament has 20 or more elite teams, in pool play it'll be like normal, so that those lower level teams get a chance to play the Churches, the Chandlers, the Solomons, the everyone else's of the world. They get to play a couple of games, but then in bracket play, we're going to take the top 8 teams into their own Utah Pro division. And then everyone else will fight out for that 9th, 10th, 11th. We get podium prizes for both of those brackets. So just kind of makes it so that once you're elite, you're going to get spanked. But now, we take those teams that are, far and above ahead of everyone, get them off in their own division, and let you guys play out. So hopefully that makes people incentivized to keep playing, knowing you're not just going to get killed for the rest of time. So anyway, let's move on. And we got 26 through 50 on the screen. Yep. 1 premier player left in the rankings. You got McKay.
Yeah.
Took a boost, actually.
Jumped back onto the list. He did play in a tournament, got 2nd this year in Park City. The finals was me and him versus Creech and Church. And Creech and Church played very well together. But, McKay shaking off the rust, but he's still very athletic and very good. And so, anyways, had a result, so we put him up there. Then we've got Conor and Zayn right behind. We would love to see them play even more. We really miss them. Conor's still been coming out and supporting us. Came out and watched the whole tour stop and everything. So
they're active in the comments.
Yeah. So. Yep, for sure.
We got the live tweeting going on.
Just play more.
I will say, Conor is one of those I think on this list that doesn't deserve to fall 3 spots. Conor has actually been very active. I respect Conor a lot. It is he was a victim of these new guys coming back and just taking spots. It's and as we go further down the list, it's going to be that same story over and over and over. People didn't get worse. It's just other people got more, better, faster. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, Conor's still been, one of the Taylorsville crew that has been very active. I hope, Conor, you still are. I definitely want to run a tournament with you. So, anyway, keep coming out. Zayn is one who did drop more because of inactivity. Just only had, I think, 1 result and tied for 6th with 10 other teams. So.
Yep. But right behind them, we've got some people who jumped up 7, 9, and 10 spots. So Dylan Mundy, Alex Tamang, and Dallin Zabetti. Both have had good tournaments and are all 3 very skilled players. Alex Tamang, he lost to Drip Drop in the quarterfinals at the Salt Lake Tour Stop playing with Trey Thompson, but landed on the podium the week before with Grant. So Alex is getting more consistent, got a great lefty serve, so he's jumped up a bit. And then Dallin Zabetti plays with Garrett Carver as Spike Ball Thieves. They, again, were a series away in American Fork at a really good tournament. So
that one they balled out.
Yeah, they played very well.
I think higher than expectations, and so got to reward them for that. Hopefully, I think Salt Lake they didn't do quite so well. I think they went out round of 16, right?
Yeah, but Zabetti had he cut his finger really
That's
bad.
Right. That's right.
Wasn't that full?
So don't do that next time.
Yeah.
Just come healthy.
Injured,
don't dislocate your thumb.
Yeah.
Don't cut your hand.
Don't get injured.
Drink water. Drink water and Tiga. Yeah. That's all. It's not hard. It's just a three
really easy to stay healthy.
Three something recipe. Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Ashton, we're excited to have him back finally off of summer sales. Hopefully he's back out, killing it with the BYU crew. Justin, I think one of the most active players in the community. Stud of a player, stud of a human being. It was fun. I think me and Church hung out with him and Braden in Tahoe after the tournament. It was great, kind of hanging out with them. Just the four of us. Well, 5 with Phoenix, but.
Played some weird Viking game on the beach.
And I believe I beat you, so I'm number 1 in that now.
Sure. If you can remember what it's called, you can talk stuff.
Right. Justin, come on, you got to be here. Oh yeah, Justin is here. Justin, give me that in the comments.
But he's got a bright future ahead. He'll only keep getting better. Very athletic, very quick.
So fast.
Yeah,
oh man, he can run down a ball.
Yep.
So
love watching him play.
Let's see. So we got. Zeke pretty much stayed the same. Didn't have a whole lot of results. A couple tournaments. Christian simping out, moving down to 35. But again, Christian, hopefully we get you back.
We considered last night doing a top 10 simp list. We didn't have enough data.
Yeah. And it was late.
Put it in the comments if you do want a top 10 simp list.
Right. There we go.
We're men of the people.
I gotta know who is Tri 42. I gotta know who's.
That's Thomas Hamilton.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So answer that question. I think Church explained it a little bit before. It is mostly results based. Kind of that first priority goes URA majors / the tour stop / king of the court. Then you kind of move into any other tour stop results, any Utah round net open results. And then kind of eye test. I mean, eye test is still always got to be in there, especially when, results can be all over the place and you got 12 tournaments and no one plays all the same, 12. So, anyway, Solomon just answered as well in the chat. So, cool. Let's see. Spencer Stratton. I was very impressed. Played him in... Well, actually went against him in Spike Night. Him and Brian beat me and Hattie. I was not happy about that loss, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I didn't give you the respect you deserved. You did beat us in 2 games. And, yeah, you played very consistent. Very impressed. And then I got my revenge on you in Centerville. So, but still very impressed. You got a great lefty. Word on the street is, if you're listening, you got to work on not falling into the circle on that lefty. So
it's a good point. Yeah, it's easier to tell you now than during a tournament. So might want to work on that. But still, regardless, jumped up 10 spots. And then his partner, Brian Hanson, who he plays with, just a couple behind him. Brian has also been playing a lot recently. Matches up a lot with a lot of different people, but still, seems to get just solid results out there. And is just getting more consistent as a player. So very excited for Brian as well.
And then we got the Tater Tot.
Tate is back. I'm so excited. I used to play with Tate 2 years ago. He's my brother. Just came back from a mission. Has only played in 1 tournament so far.
But he's already on that top 10 simp list.
He does have a girlfriend, which is why he didn't come to Tahoe.
Anyway, Tate, don't give in too quickly to the adversary. Come out and spike a little bit more. But I was impressed. I mean, I kind of battled for Tate in this spot. Maybe he just played well against in my series. Solomon, maybe wasn't as high on him, but he played phenomenal. Okay, let me put this. He did play phenomenal. It wasn't super scary. He's got a lefty, so he just got that inherent advantage. but he played way more consistent than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
I expected him to be terrible on serve receive, shank some sets, and in Big Brother fashion, threw Lincoln right under the bus as to why they did so terrible in pool play. So, but anyway, very impressed by Tate. Hopefully you keep him going on the grind pretty hard.
Yeah, type of player that can be 15 spots up if he's playing consistently. So excited.
Zaya Campbell, that's our boy, or that's at least my boy. Yeah, he's one that has played almost none recently, and we texted him to be like, "Are you in or out? Basically, are you interested in still being on the list, and do you plan on playing in tournaments soon?" And he said, yes, he really wants to kind of get back into it. I think he, like a lot of players, struggles with, doesn't have a consistent partner, would like to play with somebody better than him to get good results, but maybe hasn't quite earned that yet, or just hasn't hit up enough people. I think some people get comfortable. He's really only ever ran tournaments with like me and Connor.
Yeah, I mean, and I gotta say, there are a lot of players out there that like just ask him. I know Jaron Groberg's been traveling a lot, but I texted him for a couple tournaments, and he said he would have been down, but he just wasn't around trying to pair it up. Well, one with me and one with somebody else. Stokes and Gage, they're both down. Like if they're available, so just don't be afraid to hit people up and just ask. Of course, we've got our Discord with free agents. I know top players, that's maybe not the best way to go, just because top players may be a little more picky, but just reach out. Try and get you guys active. But anyway, inactivity will keep falling. Hopefully we get Z out. He's a baller. He could easily be in that top 25.
Yep.
So.
The next few with Lincoln, Lindros, and Braden, all three very skilled players, but had disappointing quarters this last little bit, just with some tough tournament results. So I think all three of them can be better than what this shows. But
and I think they're another group that, well, not Braden so much, but Lincoln and Lindros, they haven't played with partners better than them, and so they're kind of being victimized by those results because of it. Lindros, running it with Mo. By the way, Mo, congrats on being engaged. Wedding coming up the same day as Rexburg, so if they can come back and make it for that. But
let's not forget about Lincoln's big W in Grantsville.
That was a URA tournament. We don't discuss it.
Okay.
Lincoln played solid, held his own. In games 2 and 3 to kill me and Solomon. Not happy.
That was fun though. That was a random little locally ran tournament.
Yeah, shout out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, shout out to Cade, running that tournament. Cade, I might have my Grantsville boys mixed up. But anyway, yeah, fun little tournament. Grantsville has like a whole bunch of just very rookie players that are they're down to come out and spike and know nothing about the rules. It's great.
Right. And they're like an hour and a half away from everyone.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Next up are my children, Cannon and Jackson. Did amazing in Salt Lake and jumped up 14 and 23 spots respectively. Finished out and got 10th in contender at the tour stop, only losing to Caleb Wagner and Taylor Garrison. They've always been solid players. I played Centerville with Cannon, but sometimes get in their heads a little bit. So they've had some shaky results, especially once they get in consolation bracket. Some consolation brackets they finish out and take 9th, and sometimes they just like shake the bed and just say, all right, we're done and we're going home for T13. So,
but we love that they're out at almost every tournament.
Oh,
which gives us a lot of data to have,
especially because Cannon's on my fantasy team.
Oh yeah,
I might have to make a run upstairs in a little bit. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, so yeah, those are my boys. Mitch just kind of hasn't been around. I guess he did take first with his brother off
the advanced division, which is great.
Technically screwed me in fantasy.
Yeah, I
beat
beat Stanford by 15 points because of Mitch and his brother. So
Yikes.
that's a big time win.
Yeah. Still first place, still though. Don't worry.
Ramey and Danny moved up quite a bit. They've been playing a lot. Played well.
Studs, those two.
Yeah, very athletic. So we love seeing them play. And made the top 50. Who's this in the yellow? Oh, Trevor Zaleski.
His last rankings.
Yep.
But glad that we got him for the one last tournament.
Yep. And then Max Spence as well from Southern Utah has come up quite a bit.
So I think he's just been up here over the summer.
Oh, great. Okay.
Is my guess. So I'll just mention between him and the Kunk Man. Originally, Ryan Kunkler was, I believe, 44, and then Max was down at 52. The data from Spike Night that I played against them showed that. I got a misspelling in Braden.
Yeah.
Good call. My apologies, Braden. But anyway, so data showed that Max was the stronger player. So anyway, kind of reversed those two. Ryan took a fall. Max is a stud for being so dedicated to his cross country that he can't come out and play a whole lot of tournaments. Playing with Jacob, new guy, kind of trained him up. Anyway, but Max always has solid results regardless of who he plays with.
I love Max.
Oh,
he's great.
Yeah.
Got a great serve. Athletic. He's great.
All right, so that rounds out 50, huh? All right.
Halfway there, maybe
halfway.
Stand up and stretch.
Yeah. Probably speed through this.
I'm actually going to before we get to this, just because all the adopted lists are done by now. So let's fit into this adopted list.
Yeah.
Let's see, and I'm going to So we're live. I'm gonna let you guys cover that. I'll be quick timeout.
So you can do fantasy stuff?
No, I'm not doing fantasy stuff.
I'll let you go over. I think you probably know these a little better than me, but I will say these are players that basically have come out. They make a point to come out to the URA tournaments as much as they can. They're mostly in neighboring states. Mm-hmm. I know somebody jokingly, I think Thomas in the chat said, he said he had in his nose that Grant Laughlin is a Utah player.
Oh.
So it's not just that you're tight with us or you're our homies or whatever. It's most of them are New Mexico guys, Montana guys, Idaho guys that don't have a thriving community in their respective states, so they come out here for their normal tournaments.
Yep. So we essentially we've given tied rankings for all of these players from out of state. Okay. So we've got Slade Warner, who's tied for 13th. Slade is probably the most active, or one of the most active from all these out-of-staters who has played a lot this last quarter. Traveled to the SoCal tournament, got premier there. Has played in contender and premiers in all these divisions. Came out to AF.
And that's a drive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this isn't coming down from Rexburg. This is a
New Mexico
12-hour drive from across nowhere.
Yep. So got premier, great player, would be around this ranking.
And he's an excessively nice human.
Oh, it was wonderful. Yeah, I love Slade. Great man. And then we've also got Luke Fraymanis, tied 16th, around that area for Utah rankings, but has also come up just almost as much. Came up at Salt Lake. Actually, stole a series off of Stokes Engage in pool play. So that was good to see him and Jalen. And then we've also got Daniel Blodgett right behind them, another one of our Burqueños guys. Has played in a couple recently.
I think the most disappointing result I've had from him lately is the decision to not move to Utah for 2 more years.
For 2 years?
2 years. His
No.
wife decided to do school that way. He was searching for a home. He reached out to home. homie XP.
Wow.
Yeah, wife decided to go back to school down there, so
Okay.
That's tough.
he'll be back though.
That's a shame.
So, anyway, yeah, I did not realize how late we are. Yeah, we got to cruise through this.
Yeah, we
but
gotta cruise.
Anyway, so there's the rest of those. Obviously, our Montana boys are on there.
Okay,
You guys are studs, so love to see it. Essentially, this list, we're not going to hold any strict qualifications for it, but you got to show up to, a couple of tournaments between each rankings, so we have something to go off. So if you want to be on this list, DM us on Discord, on Instagram, wherever, and just kind of give us your results, and that'll help us deliberate for the next panel meeting.
Yep.
So,
awesome.
All right. Okay. We're cruising through now because we want to get to women's and I guess women's mostly, yeah. So let's cruise on through 76. So any important touch points through this next one? Hattie. Hattie's another one of my hockey, but spike ball high school kids. Great guy. Ran spike night with him. Very talented.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's worth noting we have a few of our women on the top 100, and we wanted to make sure and only include them if we thought they were top 100 players.
Absolutely.
And not just say, okay, well, let's throw in our top girls in there just to be nice or whatever, because we have our own separate women's rankings. But the women that have made the list, I think, what do we have, 3 or 4?
Yeah. So we got, I think, 4 total and 2 so far through this next 25 rankings. But yeah, Whitney and Amanda, they've been moving up. They've been playing elite when they can with the no hit zone, so that's a big part of it. Technically they could have that star by their name because they did take first in the Bay Area tournament, and I think kind of didn't want to force them to come up just because they were the only Utah team in that advance, so you never know what the division was really like, but. Great ladies, great players. So
we'll get more into the ladies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. A lot of this list is just falling through inactivity.
Play more.
Yeah. Rob's here. Apparently he fell because Chandler thinks you're bad around that.
No, I think he would say this last quarter performance-wise was not great. Played at Tahoe with John, and I think he said that was the worst he's ever played around it in his entire life.
But Rob does have something great going for him. He has 3 children on the top 100 list.
I mean, there are
point.
It is just an easy top 2 as far as ground net families in Utah. And it's the Andersons and it's the Herslers.
Totally.
That hurt.
And that's easy.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone even comes close.
Yeah.
Only the Sanfords.
Can you imagine Jeff and Rob teaming up?
Oh, can we please see it? Can we please?
That'd be a special team.
Anyway, so we got some guys on here who just kind of had some good performances. A lot of new people that are just going to make the rankings again. Other people kind of bumped up last rankings into this 70 to 100 range, and then just didn't really come out again. So it's like you got to have more results than just a one-time thing. So again, all you new people that are on the rankings now, you got to keep it coming, or else you're just going to get replaced by someone who this next quarter
has more results.
Has results. So, and
shout out to Todd.
Todd for staying up there.
Well, just for being the oldest player.
That's true. Yeah. I think in Utah. Yeah.
He's the oldest player. I think he's 50.
Yeah.
Or
he's still trucking.
52 or something.
He's doing. Yeah. He's great.
Impressive.
I love Todd.
He's great without a shirt.
Okay. All right. So moving on to the final quarter. Cooper Brown again. Same thing. Same as Hattie. PG guy just graduated. Just this will be his only time on the rankings, as he is also recently left or just about to leave on his mission. I think just about to leave. Actually, same thing with Tegan. Oh man, bunch of guys came around just to leave us. So, Brad and Bruno.
Joseph.
Well, I was gonna say, Brad and Bruno, they play together. They had a hiatus through COVID. They did qualified for or graduated from intermediate in Dixie 2019. Actually, I think the fall of 2019. Yep, the very last one.
Wow.
And then didn't see them. They've been back the last 3 tournaments and back strong as ever. Playing this team, we still got it. So
love it.
Clearly,
yeah.
Threat Level Midnight, you're right here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Austin Reed and Andrew Greer, you guys have had some great results as well. Preston Haight, kind of another one, and those 3 players kind of rotate with each other. So
Austin Reed won the 3-on-3 with me.
He did it with.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't it with the Andrew as well?
It was me, Austin, and Riley.
Oh, it was. Okay, I was thinking you had the teammates. You're right.
That's very good.
So
Jesse Vega also moved up 9 spots as well. Another result of coming out to as many tournaments as possible.
I do believe so. Speaking of Riley Duke, shout out to him. He has given us more data than we could ever handle. But it is amazing. I believe Jesse and Aaliyah are the 2 most active players this year.
Really?
Both played in. I looked at it. I forgot to look before this. But when Riley first sent us that document, it's been updated since. They were both played in 15 tournaments at that point, and they haven't missed one since. So I mean, they're probably at 18 now.
Wow.
So big ups to you guys coming out. Awesome. Love having you around. So keep it up.
Amen.
Anyway, finish it up. Another couple ladies, Lexi, Kirsty.
Yeah.
We'll get to the reasoning with Lexi being over Kirsty. Definitely a debate. Liza squeaking in, and the top 100.
Our man Jeff.
Number 1 in our hearts, which is why there's 1 heart there, but number 100 on the list. We got Jeff Anderson. So,
I mean, Jeff's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
I think undisputed. People talk Roger. People talk
Jeff had none of his sons playing on Sunday, but came out and supported us.
Got you some food.
Bringing Arby's for the crew.
Got me a roast beef sandwich. Gave me a hug and told me he loved me. And that's all you need to know about
him. So he gets a heart.
So
he's a special man.
Yep. All right. Okay, moving to our beloved ladies. So
real quick, address a couple comments.
Okay.
Alex Temang mentioned he'd love to see kind of the finishes from the tournaments. I think a lot of people, and I'm just addressing you.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like, I swear I did better than so and so in this and this and this tournament. But there's been 12 tournaments, so it's a lot to remember. Is there any way we want to
publicize
just the spreadsheet? Obviously, we don't want to make it public to everyone. We want people messing with it. But.
No, we could take a look at that. I mean, I could do, because I mean, permissions are easy. I can give you guys all permissions to edit, and then everyone else just viewers. So we can take a look at that. I'd like to make something a little more prettier.
We could even just take some screenshots.
Yeah,
and whatever.
Yeah, we'll look at that after for our next rankings. Yeah. Give people that data that we look at, but just so everyone knows, I'll just kind of turn this guy around here. Gotta go to the. So, I mean, this is all the data we're looking at. So, you guys can't see. You just see a big white screen. That's not gonna help. But, anyway, I mean, it's again, we've got 10 of the 12 tournaments in here. We left out Tahoe and SoCal because we kind of weren't very many Utah people in those. But we looked through it, make sure there's no like big anomalies. And track that data. So.
And listen, if anyone wants to take stats on their games and send them to us, that's additional data. We don't have time or the resources to. We sometimes take stats with kind of the top 5 players when they're going head to head, and we don't have an idea when it's really, really close. But for the most part, we're going off of finishes in the eye test.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's see. So Jesse, I'll just address your comment. So you got 4th, but I mean the people that got 3rd and 2nd are just barely above you. So I mean you're looking at Yeah.
Yeah, it's fourth in the advanced division, which is a good showing.
Yeah, you're right above, Bruno, Brady Price, like they were right behind you.
Yeah.
And so anyway, you just got to look at relativity.
Yeah. And that's just one of many tournaments. Yeah. Played in a lot and had some less than stellar results. So
anyway,
still moved up.
Okay, so to our women now, we're hitting over that hour mark. So, why don't you guys take the lead here if you would?
Yeah, look at this. So number one we have Whitney Freyr. Is that how you say her last name?
I believe so.
I've never said it out loud, but she gave me and Chandler a ride to the airport.
Yeah, so that solidified her spot. No, I'm just kidding.
No, Whitney and Amanda are definitely our top two players. Whitney, I think, has the edge just with a little more consistency, a little more
power, speed,
precision in her setting and her hitting. And I think Amanda has the better serve, but Whitney's is definitely more consistent. Whitney has a really high serve percentage, and it may not be, a crazy serve, but it's pretty darn good. Pretty low.
Great finishes too. Yeah. Puts it away almost every time.
Yeah, and they've, they don't have much as far as head-to-head results because they're partners. But
Whitney did have the really good result in SoCal.
Yeah, great result in SoCal.
Played with Alex Lynch, took second. They took a game off of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I mean that's huge. So
yeah, so we're really excited for them. They're coming to Chicago this weekend.
Yeah.
I'm playing with Dawson. Chandler's playing with Max Billinghurst. Those girls are coming. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Representing Utah. And then number 3, we got Lexi Strong. This might be a little controversial, but Lexi won the Queen of the Court, and basically beat everybody.
Yeah. Also, took second in AF with Liza.
Mm-hmm.
She's got some great results. Very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Gets a lot of good, I think, body or defensive ups.
Mm-hmm.
That was, in the same way that you got to give, we took a look at premier qualification, maybe giving a little boost up on the men's side of things. Kirsty she has had, some glassware on the women's side.
Got third at Seattle, playing with Katie Pearson.
But
fourth in Salt Lake.
Great results out of Kirsty. But she is playing with Katie Pearson. And so, like Lexi, we just kind of, when you're playing with more similar partners or no partner at all in Queen of the Court, Lexi just had that edge.
What's Katie ranked in women's?
She's one of the top. She's one of the only premier players there is.
She's one of the top.
She's probably number 6, 7.
I personally would say top 5. Yeah,
maybe 5.
So, shout out. I love that. Hearing from Tripp that he's now picked to play with Katie's picked to play with Kirsty in 2 tournaments. It's not just like a one-off, because they really like Kirsty. As a person, and also as a player. So that also is just, for the fact that you have a top 5 women's player that wants to play with you, that also says a lot of good things about Kirsty. So she's going to keep climbing. I'm excited to see what she can do.
Yeah, for sure. High potential. Also got Liza Murray and then Camry right behind as well. But Liza has played in a couple not tour stops, but open tournaments with like Whitney and has performed very well as well. Plays with Lexi's usually. So we've got her at the number 5 spot. Then Camry, Haley, and Alyssa are the next 3 there. Haven't played quite as frequently. Obviously Camry and Alyssa aren't playing as much, but Haley's been playing well and has kind of moved up close to their level. So it's tough with all the results, but
Haley had a good result with. Oh, no. Whitney played with Aaliyah. But anyway, now getting to Aaliyah. Yeah, Whitney played Centerville with Aaliyah, and I think they did fairly well.
Yeah, just this week.
As well. So I'll touch on kind of moving that 10 to 15. Jun Kazier, also name I don't know how to pronounce the last name. But Jun is an amazing player. Did well at the Queen of the Court. If my memory serves me well.
I've heard a lot of really good things.
So she just isn't out a lot. So I don't know if she's still in high school, if she just graduated from, went to Mountain View. But every time she plays, she looks really good, very clean. The Mountain View crew, they didn't play too many tournaments, but they play a lot on their own. And she's a great women's player. So, Sage, one of the staples in our community, housing people, even when she's not there. I believe I don't know if she's back from Hawaii yet, but okay. So definitely great player. Love having her out at 5 pickups a week.
She's playing in Florida next week too.
Oh yeah, that's right, from Florida. So going back to the second home. So and then that damn bar with Keisha and Kaylee and Becca Feller coming on. So yeah. And then as we saw the Utah adopted list, we had Nicole in that T4 spot. Right, we got Camille in the T5 and Caitlin Rowe in that T6. So our Rexburg ladies coming down. That Rexburg tournament's been fun.
Yeah, it should be a good one. But I don't know, it's just exciting to see this list grow. I think we had 10 last time, now we've got 15. Had the biggest women's division at the tour stop this weekend. Yep. So I don't know, really excited for the future of that.
And big ups to Amanda. Actually, Amanda and Caitlin, both of them, they've kind of been leading the push for women's divisions nationwide. Obviously, with them both being in the Rocky Mountain region, we benefit from that. But shout out to both of those ladies for just killing it on recruiting, trying to help other women, get transportation, get lodging at tour stops, plus Utah tournaments. So, anyway, that should do it for the rankings. We do have this little, little premier sheet. So we're up to 22 players. We've got 5 that are inactive and not ranked. Ben Hamilton, man, we got to get him back.
Oh, I love Ben.
Oh, man.
I hope he's watching this. I can bet you money that he's not, but I hope he is watching.
We'll send him a link to watch it afterwards.
Yeah, I love Ben.
Almost got Spence and Johnny to come to play at the tour stop. I was
really?
Close. I was so close.
Man.
They came and watched.
Yeah, they did.
Did they? I didn't even see him. Although there were so many people there that I'm like, I don't even remember seeing you all day long. I'm running around.
That was such a well put off tour stop too. Like it was all very put together super well. It was all super official. It was a very well done one. That was one of my favorites.
Golf cart was very handy.
Yeah, that's big time.
Megs is like, you might have to invest in that when you get the truck. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So, anyway, well, thank you everyone for hanging out with us late. I guess we crushed through that last bit. It only took 20 minutes, so only 10 over. Again,
these soon for you to see.
Yep. So they'll get posted. We'll get around to either do it tonight or in the morning. I might post them tonight, and then Solomon, you can get around to tagging people as the intern. At least now you've got all the Instagram tags, thanks to me in church. So, one more thing, just here are those jerseys from KBS, our Utah Spike jerseys. They are $50 for a tank, $55 for a short sleeve, and $60 for a long sleeve. Anyway, they're great. You're going to see a ton of them coming around. We've already got orders in for 15 to 20. So you're going to see those around. So don't get left out. It does take about 3 to 4 to 5 weeks to get, depending if there is a typhoon around the manufacturing plant in Asia. So, yeah. Anyway, anyway, thank you all. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us.
Thank you.
I don't know, maybe we go hot tub.
I think we should. Next ranking coming out at the end of the season.
So we'll do next ranking. So October, I think we've got tournaments every week through October. So we'll probably do first week in November before me and Megs go on a cruise. So, but plan on that again. You got to play if you want to be ranked.
Yep.
So
excited to see a lot of tournaments coming up to prove yourself. You want to move up in the rankings. So yeah, we're excited to see you guys out there.
Okay. And again, anyone traveling into Utah, again, we've got this guest bedroom set up. We got bunk beds, a queen bed, a couple of love sacks. We got some air mattresses. So if you're traveling in, need a place to crash for a tournament, hit me up.